부산영어방송.
Hello everyone, I'm James from India. Ever since I was a young boy in India, I have been surrounded by different Korean products, and this instilled a dream in me to explore Korea one day. This chance came for me in 2014 when I began attending Busan National University as a graduate student in computer engineering. I have lived in Korea for over 7 years, and I even run my own business now, a company that is developing a platform based on artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. From my experience, I can say with an absolutely certainty that Busan was the best place for me to start my business, thanks to the specialized blockchain zone. In the past 7 years, Busan has become my second home, and I obviously love it here. Global City Busan, we are in it together. This campaign was brought to you by BFM 부산영어방송.
Today we bring to you a report on what to do in case of heavy rain. There's nothing like preparation when it comes to torrential downpour. Isn't that right?
That's right. You must turn off your gas and electricity and quickly evacuate from areas vulnerable to flash flooding.
What should we do if we are already outside?
Evacuate to a safe place, away from construction sites, underground spaces, and areas prone to frequent flooding. If you're driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 2 o'clock.
Welcome to BFM News at 2. I'm Kate Shin. The train service on the Gyeonggi-Jungang line between Munsan and Imjingang, which had been suspended due to heavy rain, resumed today. Korail announced that train operations on the Munsan-Imjingang section restarted as of 10:30 a.m. today. Yesterday, heavy rainfall centered around the metropolitan area led Korail to halt operations on this section. According to their guidelines, train services are temporarily suspended if the rainfall exceeds 65 millimeters per hour. Opponents of the protective birth system, which permits anonymous births for women in crisis, rallied at the National Assembly calling for its abolition. The Abolition Coalition for Protective Birth System and the Orphan Rights and Interest Solidarity held a press conference outside the National Assembly today, arguing that the protective birth system promotes child abandonment and orphanage growth. The coalition proposed a Universal Pregnancy, Birth and Childcare Support Act instead. They argued that the protective birth system is not a life-saving measure, but a loophole for avoiding responsibility. Some contact lens cleaning solutions were found to have too many microorganisms. The Korea Consumer Agency discovered that 4 of these solutions exceeded the standard limits for aerobic microorganisms. They recommend checking the manufacturing and expiration dates on these solutions and using them within the indicated period after opening. If you experience discomfort, redness, excessive tearing, or vision problems, remove your lenses and see a specialist immediately. Following the Consumer Agency's recommendation, the 4 businesses will stop selling the affected products, recall and dispose of them, improve hygiene management, and offer refunds to customers. Now for local news. The Haewol Observatory in Busan features a 137-meter U-shaped skywalk over the sea with a crescent-shaped tower and a 15-meter circular plaza offering ocean views. The Cheongsapo Daridol Observatory has been expanded from 73 meters to 192 meters. Both observatories will open to the public on the 27th. A completion ceremony and community event will take place on the 26th at Cheongsapo Daridol Observatory in Haeundae-gu. Busan City is boosting support for crisis pregnancies with a new special law on support for crisis pregnancies, safe births, and child protection. This law addresses unexpected pregnancies and related economic, psychological, or physical challenges. Maria Mo Sung-won in Seogu has been appointed as the main organization for the support, offering 24-hour services. They specialize in helping single-parent families, providing counseling and resources for unmarried mothers and those in crisis. Time for international news. United States President Joe Biden, currently recuperating from COVID-19 at his Delaware residence, is reportedly considering stepping down as a presidential candidate. On the 18th local time, Reuters reported that President Biden is seriously considering stepping down. Many Democrats now expect him to announce his resignation soon, including some who initially supported his re-election, like Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who are now advising him to resign voluntarily. The Democratic leadership's shift in stance is reportedly due to private polls showing Biden would face a significant defeat if he continues his re-election campaign. Time now for the weather. Heat wave warning is in effect in central Busan. It is currently 26 degrees Celsius and raining off and on. The temperature will average around 25 degrees this afternoon. That's all we have time for this hour's news. Thanks for listening. You're listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, Busan 영어방송. Coming up next is 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
Maybe you've just moved into a new area, or you just want to get out more. Perhaps a new group of friends could be a great way to do both. But fitting in with a new group of friends can be a little tricky. Groups might share memories or inside jokes and special bonds already. But it's worth making the effort. Being part of a friend group has many perks. One of the biggest advantages is the feeling of being a part of something, which can be especially helpful when you have difficult times, right? Friend groups also offer opportunities for socializing, which promote good mental health. And another great thing about having a group of friends is the shared experiences and memories that can be created. Today we're going to talk about how to fit into a new friend group. It's Friday, July 19th. This is the 2 p.m. Reboot. Let's get it started. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. We just started the show off with 29 by Demi Lovato. And she actually wrote that song with an LA songwriter named Sean Douglas and a Nashville songwriter named Laura Veltz. And 29 went viral on a short-form media as many fans used the song to soundtrack their own stories of relationships with older men. Got kind of personal out there, huh? So according to Laura Veltz, who is one of the songwriters, she said, "I love the platform and watching all of the thousands of women who use 29 as a reality check for their own dating history. Then the idea that those women will have daughters, then those daughters will have daughters. I can't even wrap my head around the power of that song by way of butterfly effect." And that's kind of cool, right? You never think about that as a songwriter, right? You never think about what kind of impact your songs might have on people. And then to see that happen because of social media or whatever media that it takes off on, that's pretty cool. I wonder if that feels just weird or is like kind of rewarding. You're listening to us live in the studio here on Busan on this Friday afternoon. We're broadcasting on BEFM 90.5 here in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jeongwan, and Noksan areas. On Seoul, we're on TBS EFM 101.3 FM, and in Gwangju, we're on GFN 98.7 FM. And of course, thank you for joining us wherever you might be at today. I hope the weather's cooperating wherever you're at. It's been a weird one for us today. I saw sunshine this morning, and then I saw rain, and it's just going to kind of be like that, I guess. What are you going to do, right? But the weekend is coming, so we'll see what that holds for us as well. Right now, we're streaming on YouTube. If you want to join us, you can search BEFM or Busan영어방송. And I do just want to let you know, we do have a music copyright issue, so we cannot play the songs on YouTube, as we do on the radio. So we do have to mute those songs, and we apologize for the inconvenience there. But of course, this show will be completely uninterrupted on FM radio, and we do have a smartphone app you can search. If you go to the App Store on your phone, search BEFM or 부산영어방송, and you can download the app and listen to the show as well. And we've got a lot coming up for you to listen to today. In just in hour number one, we've got so much, right? We've got hot off the press first. We'll have 2 new songs that have recently been released, and we'll give you some background information about the songs and the artists behind them. And then we've also got Weekend Wanderer today because it's Friday and the weekend is almost here, right? It's upon us. So we need to know what to do, right? And Eric's going to come in and help us with that. He'll give us an up-to-date, all kinds of information about what's happening around the area, things to do. And in hour number 2, we've got our daily list. As you could probably guess, it's going to be related to the intro of the show today. At the top of the show, I was talking about joining a new group of friends, which is kind of a different issue than just trying to make one new friend, right? That might be a little bit easier to just meet one person at a time. But to actually join a or already existing group of friends might take a little effort, but also patience. But there are a lot of payoffs if you can do it. So in the daily list today, we'll talk about how to get to know and fit into a new friend group. Maybe it's time to jettison the old friend group. So that happens sometimes. Sometimes you gotta just grow apart from old people, right? And, maybe you knew each other for a long time and, you had your time together, but your ways have just kind of diverted. You've gone different paths, or maybe you just moved to a completely new area and you need to make a new group of friends. And we'll give you some tips on how to do that. And also, why it's a good thing to do. And because today is Friday, we have our Friday Spotlight today. This is our newer segment where we introduce local musicians or performers or artists who live here, work here in Busan, or sometimes people that just come from outside of Busan to perform here. But today we will have Busan's very own Soham Balgwang, and I'll have an interview and some songs with them, and I'm always excited about this, so definitely check that out. And today we also have our perfect playlist. It's Friday, so it'll be the last song on our theme for the perfect playlist. This week we've had songs that are lost 60s singles. So we'll have another one for you to check out today on the perfect playlist. And of course, I will be checking your messages throughout the show, so feel free to send me a message, say hi, tell me how you're doing on this Friday afternoon. And I have one more question I would like to ask you, because I was thinking about the difference between, having one friend or making one new friend versus making a new group of friends. It is quite different. And some people probably prefer one situation to another. So my question of the day for you today is, do you prefer doing things with one friend or doing things with a group of friends. 그래서 친구 한 명 또는 여러 명 중에 누구와 일을 하는 것을 좋아하시나요? So, of course, you can message us here at 샵9050 or pound 9050 for 101. Or you can send us a message for free if you use the KakaoTalk app. Just search BEFM or Busan 영어방송. You'll see us, and then you can add us there and send us a message. And also, as I mentioned before, we have our own smartphone app in the app stores on your phones. All you have to do is search BEFM or Busan 영어방송. You can download the app, and then after you log in, you can leave us some comments on that as well. To get it started, let's see. Do I prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends? I'm usually the one friend kind of person. I do enjoy having a group of friends, and I like having, group type activities occasionally, but I am usually the one-on-one type. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. I just seem to be a little more comfortable one-on-one. So I feel a little more free to kind of talk about things and feel like I can actually express myself a little more clearly or in detail, or I don't know, talk about things that are really important to me. Where with a group of friends, I usually try to be a little bit more careful about what I share and what I say. But, it depends. It depends on the situation. And especially for things like traveling, give me one friend any day of the week rather than a group of friends. When you have to make a whole decision through a group of people about what to do and where to go, oh no, not for me. One friend is the way for me. But I'm curious. I know some people would rather actually be in a group of friends instead of just spending time with one friend, right? So let me know what kind of person you are. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Smells Like Me by Charlie Puth, and then we'll be back with Hot Off the Press. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard Smells Like Me by Charlie Puth with his perfect pitch. And I was really curious what that song was going to be about because the title alone, I was like, what? Smells Like Me? What is he talking about? But that was an interesting take on it. Very good. But now it is time for Hot Off the Press. We do this every Monday through Friday. We bring you 2 of the newest, hottest tracks from around the world of music. And there are so many songs that are released every week. So we tried to choose some of the best and introduce them to you. And today we've got our first song, Scenic Route by the National Parks. And the National Parks is an American indie folk pop band. They've got a new album that comprises 12 tracks and is set to be released on August 23rd. The band said of this song, Scenic Route, "When I wrote this song, it felt like breathing slowly for the first time in a long time. It kind of shocked my system in the best way and made me step back and realize the importance of slowing down and soaking in the journey of this life with the person you love in spite of the crazy things we go through. It's about enjoying the quiet moments, the long talks, the road trips, sunset on the lakes, and not taking yourself so seriously, because life is wild, and that's okay." Interesting. A lot of depth in there for Scenic Route. I'm going to go with Route. Our second song for today is Wasting My Time by Culture Wars. Culture Wars is an alt-rock band, and they've just released this new song. According to a press release, their debut LP is a breath of fresh air full of ambition and pure intentions. It's a young and modern album whose energizing and unapologetically moving rock songs are destined to connect with a generation all but starved for authenticity and provocation in their rock bands. Ouch. Generation's taking that, okay. As the band's name implies, seemingly disparate passions battle within the songs, somehow beautifully making peace. That's kind of a lot to live up to. I'm very curious about this band here. So our first song for today on Hot Off the Press is Scenic Route by the National Parks. And then we're going to listen to Wasting My Time by Culture Wars. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard Wasting My Time by Culture Wars. And before that, there was Scenic Route by, I'm going to say Route this time. Route. I don't know. I can switch back and forth. Scenic Route by the National Parks. And that were our two songs for Hot Off the Press for today. And our question of the day is, do you prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends? 친구 한 명 또는 여러 명 중에 누구와 일을 하는 것을 좋아하시나요? So, of course, you can reach us here at 샵9050 or pound 9050 for 101. You can send us messages for free on Kakao Talk if you search BEFM or 부산영어방송. And you can reach us by the smartphone app if you just search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in the App Store on your phone. You can contact us any of those ways and let me know if you prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends, if you had to choose, that is. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Eric and Weekend Wanderer. All right, welcome back. That song, that music means it's time for Weekend Wanderer with Eric. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hey, good afternoon.
I'm gonna spoil the surprise. During the break, we were having an exciting conversation about strollers.
That's right.
That's where we're at in our lives.
Well, it is going to be relevant to what we're talking about today because we're covering all the events happening here in the city and maybe around the city in the other surrounding areas. But mainly, we're going to be looking at some things that I did. I took advantage of today. I don't know about you if you've done anything this morning. I've been quite busy kind of running around the city, just checking out some of these things that are happening.
Some of the events, cool.
But before we get into these events, I thought it'd be nice to cover a little bit of news.
Sure.
I know that...
Can I ask you a question before you start?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm just curious because I think I know the answer, but I want to hear your opinion. Do you actually, if you're given the choice, you have to choose, do you prefer doing things in general with one friend or a group of friends?
That's a good question. I do like, nowadays, a singular friend, but I don't mind a group of friends when I can get everyone together. It's just that nowadays all my friends are pretty busy with their own stuff. It's hard to get a group of friends together.
It takes more effort, right?
Not to mention, I don't know if I have a group of friends. I have a couple of friends individually, but it's kind of hard to get I don't know, what would you say a group is? 2 people? Is that a group?
Sometimes 2 is too many, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 can be too much. I don't know, a group of friends to me is like 4 or more. I don't know, something like that.
I always think okay, if I can get 2 people in the same room as me, it's not a bad group.
Technically, it's a group. You got 3 involved, right? So yeah, technically that's a group. But okay, cool. So these days you kind of prefer having one friend? Just to,
just
maybe
a singular
movies
friend.
Or...
It's just a little bit easier to navigate scheduling wise.
Right.
That being said, if you can plan a group event, it's always fun to maybe get out of the city, maybe enjoy some camping or some pensions out on the coast.
Right.
I was just talking about all the lovely places north of Busan on the East Coast. You guys, there's so many different places out there that you can explore. And we're going to get to some of those, but before we do, you might want to stick around this city because in some news, and this is something that I've been really curious about, they're actually going to build a 500-meter underwater break wall around Marine City. So I was thinking about this the other day because I was kind of taking a walk on the other side of Marine City. I mean, not the other side of Marine City, but I guess across the bay, closer to Igide or in that area. You can kind of see across. But if you've been that way before, then you know that Marine City is definitely right there. It's one of the nicest buildings in the area because it's so close to the water, but also leaves it susceptible to lots of flooding. I don't know if you were there during the typhoon in 2016 or if you knew anyone there. I had some friends who were living in that area and they didn't experience because they were high up, but they could wash the water kind of wash away everything.
Really?
Yeah.
They would basically be looking from their apartments down and they were just completely covered.
Tons of water. And so hopefully this 500-meter break wall using I'm assuming tetrapods. I didn't take a look at it, but the kind of spiky looking things. Yeah.
Go dive down there and see what they got.
Well, I wish you could because they're very interesting, the kind of life that springs up around these break walls.
Oh, but yeah, right.
In general, though, it's supposed to help prevent all of that wave damage from the typhoons. And there have been so many cases where even, this is going to be a pretty big project, but hopefully it's going to pay off because they won't have to kind of repair all the damage.
Sure.
Not only just, of course, the road damage is pretty bad and the building damage, but also people can get injured that way.
Right.
During typhoons, there's always somebody who gets caught up. Actually, I have a singular friend out there who loves to go watch typhoons a little bit too close.
Oh, really?
Hopefully it'll...
Is his name Jim Cantori? Is that his name? Oh, okay. Did he go out there with like a raincoat on and he's reporting live to you?
Yeah, raincoat. We don't really have. I do see some of those on the spot reporters, but hopefully it'll be much safer for everyone once they get this break wall underway. So I'm excited about that. Another piece of news that's pretty exciting is this new urban express bus service to the airport from Hyundai. So
Aren't
I
they
don't
closing
know.
one?
So they used to have a bus service,
Right.
and it was pretty popular from Hyundai to the airport.
Sure.
But it was, I don't know, I guess a lot of people didn't use it. It had stops that weren't necessarily a bus stops. It had its own stops. They're close by.
Okay.
But nowadays they kind of I want to say rerouted everything, but they did get a new service that opened up, and it's the bus number 2029. Now, why do you think they had that as the bus number?
Because that's the year it's going to start? 2029? No?
No, that's the year that it's going to be completed to the Garok Airport. So that's what they were kind of thinking about.
Gotcha.
2029.
So they're looking into the future.
They're looking into the future and also not really trying to hurt your wallet. The express bus fare is going to be set at 2,100 won.
That's it?
So each Onobek won is very, very
matter
cheap
where you go
for
from?
adults. Just, the service between the airport and Hyundai. So I think that is really a great price.
That's amazing.
Considering, what the other prices are. And also because it's that kind of route that has 19 stops, it might be pretty good for you or me to catch it.
Right, there'll be other places along the way, just not just Hyundai.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So this is just one of, some of the big things to kind of look out coming our way. On a more, you could say, serious note, the government is going to implement stricter safety measures for personal mobility devices. What do you think those are?
Yeah, okay. So I just actually saw, when I was walking here today, I saw it said in Korean, it said mobility juchajang. Mm-hmm. And it looked like a bicycle rack, like where you chain your bicycle up to.
Yeah.
And this was, like midway between here and kind of the Haeundae area. And that's the first time I saw that. So I guess mobility means just electronic bicycles and scooters, and is that it?
Well, yeah.
Or electric.
I
sorry,
mean,
not electronic.
we see those electric bikes, or I guess you could even consider regular. You remember they used to have those regular bikes? Now it seems like all the bikes have like a little bit of an electric
motor
battery.
assist, right, for sure.
And then the scooters, well, they're called, I guess they've been called, is, a term urban outlaws because they kind of do whatever they want.
It sounds like a place where you can buy really cool clothes.
Yes.
I'm going to go to Urban Outlaws.
Well, they want to reduce the speed from about 25 kilometers an hour to 20. So that's hopefully going to...
For these personal mobility devices, is that what they're called?
So that's, 20 kilometers an hour is still pretty fast.
Without
to go.
wearing a helmet, by the way. A lot of these people not wearing helmets.
Not wearing helmets. And I do want to see more helmets. Someone who does ride quite a bit.
Right.
Whatever I'm on, two wheels is probably going to require a helmet. So I hope that people, consider the safety factor in that.
Yeah,
but mainly...
you don't know it until you get into an accident, right?
Yeah.
And you don't realize how badly you can get hurt.
Also doesn't take much to get into an accident when you have people zipping not only on the roads. Roads are very dangerous, but also on uneven sidewalks.
Sure.
Although, some of them, like the bicycles, have bigger wheels. Some of the little scooters do not have that big of wheels. And I've seen some bigger holes kind of here and there in the sidewalk. And if you're not paying attention, you hit one, it could hurt going 20 kilometers an hour. Again, that's one thing. They're going to reduce the speed. And then they're also going to try to enforce, I guess, more, street regulations on it. I do see people on the road, off the road. And again, it's kind of of up in the air what these vehicles exactly are.
Right. I mean, like, what's the technical term? PMD, a personal mobility device. It could be anything. It sounds like something you could carry in your pocket. You know, like, who knows what that is?
I've seen the one-wheeled people going pretty fast.
Right, the unicycle thing, right?
They're pretty fast.
Never with a helmet. I've never seen anybody with a helmet.
I've seen some people, not with a helmet, with other things, but definitely not a helmet on. And of course, you even get some of the bigger ones. I mean, this goes to almost pretty much the size of a small scooter, right?
Right.
And as fast or faster than some scooters that you need licenses for. So it is something to consider. There have been lots of accidents and even deaths because of these. So I think a little bit more of a crackdown is due. Have you ever used one of them?
No, I would kind of feel a little bit intimidated to even I wouldn't know how do you pay for it? You usually have to have some kind of app, I guess.
Yeah, you just download the app. I think you scan a QR code. But the main thing is that especially people who have to go up a hill. I don't know if you've ever worked at a place or had to commute up a hill.
Oh.
Sometimes they're very handy to get you up the hill.
So you tried it?
Yeah, in a manner that's relatively fast, a little bit dangerous, but it's much easier. Busan, very famous for some of the hills.
A lot of mountains here.
Yeah, a lot of mountains and a lot of places you need to get up to. So I think it's a good idea to, not only do that, but also maybe it wouldn't hurt to teach a little safety classes. They could be free, open to the public,
right.
But it would be nice because I have seen people try to learn on them. Now, it's not their fault that they've never ridden. They have to practice somewhere, but
sure,
it can be a little dangerous if you just step on and then hit it and it goes 25 kilometers an hour and you don't know how to stop.
And that's exactly what I was thinking too. Just for shame purposes, I don't want to be caught on CCTV crashing one as soon as I step onto it.
Yeah.
So I've kind of avoided them, but I have been curious every now and then. Let's say I'm running a little bit late and I see one right there, parked up against a lamppost, and I'm like, yeah, what would it take to get on that thing? But
there was a time when they were doing kind of promotions and they were free, and I've tried a couple. And, I see a lot of people using them for things not more than what they're capable of, but I've definitely tried to maybe, try to move something, or you bought something really heavy from the grocery store.
Did you try to drag something all the way home?
Trying to get your groceries home. So it is, one of those things that I think a little bit more regulation is warranted. And I hope that they're going to have a better system, just simply, like you said, parking them in places. Because right now they're everywhere.
I mean, people just literally drop them, right?
And that's the appeal of it, is that, you don't have to park it. I get that. But nowadays they're talking about, making sure that the companies who manage them much better.
Right.
Because they're tracking them using GPS and stuff. So trying to group them in one location, not leaving them in front of places too long. Sometimes they're blocking sidewalks, blocking roads.
See that all the time.
Yeah, it's important that they kind of get a handle on it before they get out of control.
And a question just for you, since you actually have used some of these, do you think there's probably a little bit of a learning curve? You can't just jump on it and be an expert at using it you ride a motorcycle already.
Yeah, that's
so you
true.
have a little experience.
I think that if you could, especially if you've ridden a bicycle, but they're equivalent to even kickboards or something like that.
Okay.
I think they are easily, able to, because especially on those scooters are pretty low. The bicycles, on the other hand, I don't know, I haven't even tried the electric ones. So.
Right, the electric assist where it's got a pedal. So you
I
can
would
pedal
like
sometimes.
to try that. Maybe we should go after the show and go check some of these out. I know they're
That sounds fun.
parked out right in front of the building.
Let's go get them. Well, I tell you what, we'll go scope those out. We're going to take a look out the window and see where they're parked if they haven't been moved already. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to I Hope That It Hurts by Nikki Romero and Norma Jean Martine, and then we'll be back with Eric and Weekend Wanderer.
A couple drinks after
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard I Hope That It Hurts by Nikki Romero and Norma Jean Martin. And we're back with Eric and Weekend Wanderer. We were talking about the PMDs before the break there, those personal mobility devices, and how the government is going to implement stricter safety measures, very Long Island. They were going to do strict safety measures for the PMDs. But I guess that's only Busan-wide. So, I assume this will be happening in many other cities as well. Probably the national agencies will get involved as well, I imagine.
I think so. And, they are we did look outside. There are some floating around across the street. So
I can go grab them.
You can get them. We can do, some maybe on-the-spot reporting one of these days. But,
pop some wheelies.
If you do decide to get some, you have some choices to go to this weekend. I'm going to cover some events right now.
Okay.
Starting with some of the things that are going on at Bexco, because a couple things are happening. First of all, the COSPAR. Have you ever heard of that? COSPAR? The Scientific Assembly, the Committee on Space Research.
Okay, so what's the acronym? COSPAR?
Yeah, COSPAR.
Cool.
That's
Sounds like
going
a fight.
on.
Some kind of fighting.
It's interesting because I was over there yesterday kind of scoping it out a little bit and just talking, there are tons of scientists from all around the world, from different universities, from, you might have, I don't know if you've noticed them, they're kind of all in Sendam City right now. And
it seems like I've seen a lot of advertisements lately. But there's actually no sparring going on. They're not having scientists fight each other.
They are
Let's
talking
be very clear.
about science and, space travel.
Sometimes that can get into fight territory, though. People have theories.
They have theories, but they have interesting points to be made, and that's happening right now. Not necessarily something that you might want to go and watch, but it is interesting that you might run into people who are scientists from around the world that are kind of going around Busan this weekend.
Yeah,
so I kind of think that's interesting because I ran into a couple interesting scientists, some from the United States, some from other countries.
Right.
And, they're all very friendly and they're here for the conference, but they're also here to kind of explore Busan. And I actually told a couple about this program, and I'm going to be announcing some events. So who knows? Maybe they're listening.
Don't fight, guys. Don't co-spar.
If they are, then they are going to hear a bunch of events going on. I'm going to start off with things happening, I guess, around here.
Cool.
There is a baby fair going on. I don't know if you're into any of these fairs. We're talking about strollers, talking about other baby things. They have everything you're going to need for baby stuff there. I went there and kind of scoped it out. And what's nice is that, they do offer some better deals, not only on this fair, but there's also another wedding fair going on.
Right.
So they really do kind of set you up for all the stages of your life.
You could just go to Bexco every now and then and be ready for each stage of your life.
Yeah.
Right?
And, they don't happen. I think the baby fair happens once or twice a year,
right.
So every 6 months. And, because obviously they're kind of catching the different waves of babies coming in the summer, coming in the winter.
I wonder how they time that, right? You think they'd try to pick out the most popular times for which trimester? There must be a science to that.
I will say that there is definitely a lot of the same things and a couple new things there. I have gone to it a couple times.
Yeah.
What I do like, though, is that they do offer good deals. And, of course, they can kind of give you a heads up for, kids of all ages. And, of course, I don't know if you ever went to a wedding fair, planned a wedding yourself.
Take a look at me. Do I look like I've ever been to a wedding fair?
But they have everything you're going to need under one roof there.
Right.
Lots of good deals, and it's right here in Centum City. So a lot of stuff happening over at Bexco.
And that's the same spot you can just go peek around the corner and see some scientists debating.
And they're probably going to be, who knows, maybe in there as well.
And maybe they're getting married, and maybe they're having babies too. Maybe it's a whole interconnected thing. Right? Very cool.
It might be. And, also in this Centum area, they're putting on a film festival. I don't know if you were familiar with the Ocean Film Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Have
They
you
do
ever
this
heard
every
about
year,
this?
right?
Yeah. So usually they have a lot of films. It's the Korean International Ocean Film Festival, and it's dedicated to the world's oceans. So have you ever seen any of these kind of ocean movies before? They have a couple detailing stuff based just in Korea or kind of off the coast, but also globally, like different
I was going to say, is it tend to be documentaries, or or can it be any kind of film?
It could be any kind of film, and I've noticed that some of my favorite ones, like I've seen, have been documentaries, though, kind of talking about the environmental impacts of, the ocean and plastics on the ocean, or overfishing. I mean, there's like so many.
Sea level, all that stuff, the sea rise.
Sea rising, it's also on there. This year, the theme is Boundless Ocean, though, and it's currently running until Sunday, the 21st. So today until the 21st, with a pretty strong lineup and some interesting films. I think that if you're interested in going to check this out, definitely go over there because, again, like I mentioned, this film festival that was happening last week, you're going to get to meet a lot of the people involved in the making of the film. They invite lots of guests.
Right.
It's a big to-do. So there are so many people wandering around Centum City. Scientists, filmmakers, potential baby, people getting married. So everything's happening
All
over
walks of
here.
life.
All walks of life. But if you want to get out and maybe branch out a little bit, might I suggest a couple of the museums around town? We mentioned this last week. It is worth mentioning again. Monet to Andy Warhol.
I haven't been yet.
You haven't been? You said you were going to go.
I need time. I need time.
This is happening in Daeandong at the Busan Culture Center.
Yes, very close to the
Cultural
UN
Center.
Park, if you're not familiar.
Yeah, very close to the UN Park. Lots of works from them. I'm excited about going to see it. I was actually going to take some people maybe this weekend.
Take me. Just one friend.
I'll take
Don't
you.
take a group.
Just one friend. We're
Yes.
going to head over and check it out. Although we do have time. It is running until October 27th, so not too bad.
But don't say that. If you say we have time, then it'll never happen. We don't have time. Say we don't have time. Then we'll go do it before we start the semester again, right?
Then they have this is the other one that is going until August 11th, and that's Memories of Busan, and this is at the Busan Modern and Contemporary History Museum.
Oh, okay.
So I'm interested in this because they have 100 previously unpublished photos of Busan by renowned photographer Jinu Moon. So Moon Jinu. This is interesting because my favorite thing is looking at the history of Busan.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
This is by far like my most favorite topic. I love talking about it with people. I love, listening to stories about when, Haeundae Beach was just a small fishing village.
And you can see pictures of that on
Yes.
occasion, right? I wonder if these kinds of photographs will be there as well. It's just fascinating to look at it, right?
Well, it's very fascinating. They're used to, I think the airport was in Suyong area a long time ago, talking about airports. There was only the kind of main beach being Songdo Beach.
Right.
And this is not too long ago. This is in recent memory for many people who've lived in the city long enough. So I think this exhibit is a great way to kind of get a taste of old Busan, which still is around. But, even in the last couple years, you see the landscape of the city change so
for
much.
sure.
I don't even know if people are documenting it as much as they were in the past. Yes,
Right.
we all have a million photos of the city on our phones, different buildings, different restaurants, the food we ate. But, I am really taking time to document, this whole neighborhood used to be small little houses, and now
Right.
it's just one big apartment complex. So it is something that I think is worth checking out. If you're
sure.
interested in history, heading over to the Busan Modern and Contemporary Museum.
Do you know where that one is, by the way?
I believe this is over in Nampo, but I am going to double check that.
Okay, you look for that.
As I tell you about one more thing.
Go ahead.
And that is and this is something that's really interesting. I don't know if you're a fan of Gustav Klimt.
I am, and I just saw that here, and I was like, is this for real?
Okay.
Is this for real?
Yeah, we talked about it before. Representative works,
Yeah.
50 representative works like The Kiss and Judith is at Busan Citizens Hall.
The original works.
I think representative works.
I think they mean representative as in his representative works. In other words, his most famous works.
I hope so. Because then if that's the case, then this should be a line out the door to see that. Because for as many people have this as
like a t-shirt.
background on their phone or their
Exactly,
phone
yeah.
case or a t-shirt, this is, the very famous painter. I don't know if you're familiar with the Austrian painter.
If you don't know the name, you've definitely seen his works, especially The Kiss. It's a lot of gold inlaid, with semi-realistic paintings with kind of surreal backgrounds. I'm sure you've seen Gustav Klimt's work. I'm sure. I'm pretty much going to bet money on it. but don't take my money.
Well, I do hope that people can go and check that.
I want to know
workout.
if that's indeed the case, because that would be amazing. And it seems like there's a lot of big art shows happening here in Busan these days.
There is a lot of art going on. There's a lot of different design things going on. And so I hope that people can go and check these out. As usual, you have maybe not the drone show. I try to go as many times as I can, but for various reasons, mostly rain, pretty much.
Right.
It's a little unpredictable these days. And, I don't know if are you going to be around doing some of these events? Maybe I'll catch you at one of these museums?
Yes, I think let's make a museum date, you and I. Just one, not a group. A group of friends going to a museum.
Too many?
It's just too many.
Well, there are, of course, also lots of music events as well. I don't know if you mentioned all the chances to go see live music, but
I'll probably mention some
everywhere.
today.
Okay, yeah. There are just a lot of great opportunities for people to go and check out some live music. It's something that I take for granted because, I hear lots of live music. If you are walking the beaches, you hear busking going on.
Right.
A lot of cafes have starting to get into some, live music. I was at Gwangali Beach the other day and I saw some people playing the trumpet and saxophone, kind of doing some kind of video, but they were playing, loud enough to hear them play. So I would say go and embrace the music this weekend while you can, because if it's good weather, then it's just going to be that much more fun. If it's rainy, well, then people can go and enjoy some indoor live music. But either way, the music scene is definitely in full swing here in the summer in Busan.
Sounds like a great plan. All right, Eric, thank you so much for coming in for Weekend Wanderer today. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
And we're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Die For You by The Weeknd, and we'll be back at 3 p.m.
BEFM 부산 영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Electric kickboards and electric bicycles are common on the streets these days. With the increased use of personal mobility devices, the number of accidents and deaths have reportedly increased significantly.
Personal Mobility Patrol Mode. I don't need to wear a safety helmet because I'm only riding a short distance.
Wear a safety helmet. When you drive your personal mobility devices, you have to wear a safety helmet.
Hey, I rented an electric kickboard. Let's ride it together.
Okay, you drive in the front, I'll get in the back.
Follow the number of passengers. Only one person can ride an electric kickboard and electric wheel parallel car.
Follow the rules of personal mobility devices and drive safely. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 3 o'clock.
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. You just heard the song Easy Lover by Ellie Goulding featuring Big Sean, and that was our kicking off the second hour of the show song. Ellie Goulding actually wrote that song in Los Angeles with Julia Michaels, who wrote songs for Justin Bieber such as Sorry. She wrote Haley Stenfield's Love Myself and Selena Gomez's Lose You to Love Me. And this song actually originated with a conversation between the two of them about becoming infatuated with someone when you know they will never quite feel the same. That's never an easy situation, right? Ellie Goulding said, "It's about going back to the same dangerous person to feel alive when you know they have hurt people again and again before you." Ooh, that's even a little bit darker than the other situation. That's not just feeling the same. That's somebody you probably shouldn't be with. American pop wizard Greg Kurstin actually produced the song. He first collaborated with Goulding on her 2013 hit single Burn, and later was the producer behind 7 of her Delirium tracks. So that's the way we're starting off the show in the second hour. Easy Lover. Cool. That's also a Phil Collins classic song, I guess, but that's a very different tone, very different set of lyrics there for sure. We're live in the studio today in Busan on this Friday afternoon, and we just peeked some sunshine out the window. The sun is out again. It has been a weird day. It looks like the rain could be over for now, maybe. So I hope wherever you're at today, I hope the weather's cooperating with you. It's definitely been weird here in Busan today. We're broadcasting at BEFM 90.5 here in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jeongwon, and Noksan areas. In Seoul, we're on TBS EFM 101.3 FM, and in Gwangju, we're on GFN 98.7 FM. We got a whole lot coming up for you in hour number 2. I just got some waffle energy. I'm ready. I'm pumped. Ready to go. First up, we're going to have our daily list. We're going to talk about how to get to know and to fit into a new friend group. So not just like meeting one friend or meeting, a couple of friends, the idea of joining a new group of friends that kind of already exists. And it can be a little bit challenging, so we've got some tips for you. Also, today is Friday, so we're going to do our Friday Spotlight. We're going to talk about the local band Soham Balgwang. I'll have an interview and some of their songs for you today. I'm very excited. And this is a segment we've just recently started doing, and I'm really excited to do this. And also today we'll have our final song for the Perfect Playlist. Our week-long Perfect Playlist has been full of 60s lost singles. So we'll have another one of those for you today. And that's been a lot of fun for me as well. Just kind of discovering these lost classics by bands maybe you know already or bands you maybe never heard. So a lot of fun there. And of course, my question of the day has been, do you prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends? 친구 한 명 또는 여러 명 중에 누구와 일을 하는 것을 좋아하시나요? And I got an answer I just wanted to share really quick from 1191 Nim, who says, one friend. I don't like to meet people in groups. We call it 개 in Korea. I guess meeting people in groups, right? And if it's a meeting like that, I sometimes meet a lot of people, but I like to meet one friend. So yes, there are situations where it's like prearranged. You're going to meet a whole group of people. I think we're very similar, 1191 Nim. I think if I'm going to meet a large group of friends for maybe like a 회식 or what's another kind of situation? Dipuri, right? That kind of situation where you know it's going to be a group of friends. I kind of have to prepare myself before it. I just kind of have to get in that mindset like, all right, this is going to be a lot of people to talk to. I'm going to have to maybe move around, mingle around. It almost feels like work to me. But, if you just meet one friend, it just doesn't feel like work at all. It just feels like, hanging out, chilling, relaxing. And I can talk to one friend for a very long time and never get bored. So yes, I'm a one friend kind of person too. So thank you so much for your answer. And hello to H. Nim, I guess, and Shalala in the chat there. Thanks for saying hi today. Feel free, send me a message, let me know if you prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends, or if you just want to say hi and tell me how you're doing today on this Friday afternoon and what the weather's like in your area. You can reach us at Shop Gugong Ogong or pound 9050 for 101. You can reach us for free on Kakao Talk if you search BEFM or Busan 영어방송. You can just add us and search in the search there and then message us for free. And also we have a smartphone app on any of the app stores on your smartphone. You can just search BEFM or Busan 영어방송 there. Download the app. After you log in, you can send us some comments there as well. And you can also listen to the show wherever you go. Take us with you. Bring us with your one friend. You can do that thing where you like share earbuds, like one earbud in each ear. And then that's so much harder to do with a group of friends, right? And what are you going to do? Listen to it on the speaker? That never sounds good, right? One friend, always easier. That's my theory. Let me know if I'm wrong. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to I Remember by Cheat Codes and Russell Dickerson, and then we'll be back with our daily list.
Remember.
You're listening to the 2 p.m. Reboot, and you just heard the song I Remember by Cheat Codes and Russell Dickerson. A really interesting EDM/country mashup there. But now it is time for the daily list. And today's daily list is how to get to know and fit into a new group of friends, which is sometimes a different set of challenges than just trying to make one new friend at a time, right? So this is kind of broken up into three different little sections here. So the first section is how to kind of introduce yourself to a group. So number one, start with maybe joining a club or joining a team or joining an activity to get to know some future friends. Learn what the members of the group do in their free time and sign up for activities if they interest you. So in other words, soon you'll have some shared experiences that you can have, and those kind of provide a natural basis for friendship. So kind of doing a little research, I guess, but the key is to do an activity that you also like. Don't force yourself into something you don't like. I hate bowling, but I'm going to sign up for bowling just to make a group of friends. I don't know. It sounds like torture to me. So number two, spend one-on-one time with individuals in the group, right? So after you've actually kind of found a group that you can be a part of, if you try to force your way into the large group right away, it's kind of overwhelming. So try to first develop a strong friendship with individuals in the group and then use those friendships as a bridge to the rest of the group, right? So if you do join like a local club, let's say like you're into playing pool. If anybody's game, let me know. I love playing pool. It's been a while. But let's say you want to join like a local pool tournament, right? And, that could be something you play in teams or a one-on-one. But there might be a group that regularly meets to do that. So maybe, start with one person that you seem to hit it off with well first, and then kind of through that person meet the other people eventually, right? Not all at once. It's a little bit too much. Number 3, suggest activities to individual friends and ask them to invite the rest of the group. So basically, don't wait to be invited. Make your own invitations. You can create any kind of opportunity to create a social outing that you can have together. It could be something simple like going to a movie, going to a game. What's in season now? Baseball, right? Yeah, baseball's still going on, right? You could go to a baseball game, or perhaps you could just do something fun like go to the beach, right? If you want to invite people to your house, if you want to make it that complicated, go ahead. You can do that too. But make sure whatever you're doing, whatever activity you propose, something that you'll be comfortable doing as well, because that's kind of key. You want to be comfortable throughout this whole process too. Otherwise, it'll kind of unnerve yourself and perhaps not make the best impression on people you're trying to befriend, right? Number 4, tell your individual friends that you want to hang out with the group. If you feel quite comfortable with the friend, just be honest and express a desire to get to know the others in the group. But the key is to kind of be casual in your tone. You don't want to sound like you're too eager. So you could say something like, hey, your friends seem really cool. It would be great to get to know them better. And then the seed has been planted, inception, therefore, right? Number 5, build confidence before hanging out with the group for the first time. This is important because when you have self-confidence, you kind of put out positive energy that attracts other people. When you don't have self-confidence, the opposite tends to happen, right? So this was a suggestion that I read. To work on confidence, sit down with a piece of paper and write down your positive qualities. I don't know that I could seriously do that, but perhaps I could do that in a joking way and, try to entertain myself. But, that sounds like an interesting challenge. Could I actually write down positive things about myself and take it seriously? I'll think about it. But interesting for sure. It's an interesting suggestion. Number 6, display confident body language to make a good first impression. I'm going to listen to my own advice here. Practice good posture so you look confident. Or I'm going to sit up straight. Oh, now I'm like too high for the microphone. See, I got to kind of make it work here. I'm just going to slump. But the idea is when you have good posture, you do look more confident. Also, it just kind of makes you feel better, right? And instead of having like bad posture, you don't feel comfortable with that, right? Also, smile. That kind of shows the group that you're friendly. Also, you're comfortable, you're at ease. And making eye contact is a good way to form a connection with others and shows that you're self-assured. Don't stare, right? Eye contact is good, but just don't stare. That's a little too much, right? So eye contact is a good thing, but natural eye contact. Don't force yourself into it. You don't want to scare somebody off. The second part of this is kind of, so you've gone from introducing yourself to a group to developing genuine connections. So if you want to build real connections with people first, say yes when you get an invitation to hang out. Trying saying yes to almost any invitation that comes your way, because you're going to need time and practice to build these new relationships, right? And if you do this, if you do say yes, it makes it seem like you're open to not only their friendship, but to doing things, and that can help people kind of want to take you into their new group, which is not always easy, right? People even have those discussions like, how do you feel about this new person? I don't know. So that can make it easy on them. If they invite you to something, say yes as much as you can. Spending time with the new group can actually also let them know that you're interested in being a part of their activities as well. And that means that's kind of positive reassurance that the things they suggest, if you like them too, then it's like a win-win for everybody, right? Number 2, give meaningful and unique compliments. Giving compliments can help break the ice. And you could start with something perhaps a little superficial, but if you can be even more specific, that's even better. If you give detailed compliments, you might be able to start conversation that way and kind of build more connections, but also I think you're showing real interest in the person. So, you could say something very simply like, I like your hair. Hey, I don't know about that one, but okay, you could say that. Or you could be a little more detailed with it, like, I really like your haircut. Where did you get that done? Right? And then you've got more conversation you could go into. So another thing you could do, number 3, Learn more about group members by asking about their interests. I do this a lot when I meet any new person. I like to ask questions to kind of learn about people, but also because I'm curious what people like to do. And if you do this, it shows that you care about them, you care about what they feel, you care about their opinion. And people generally love talking about themselves. Guilty. Right here too. I'm guilty too. You can ask about movies, you can ask about sports, you can ask about favorite things to buy, shopping, dream vacations. There's a lot of stuff you could do, right? And try to ask good follow-up questions. So like be a good listener, listen to their answer, and then, try to ask something that's thoughtful. So if you start with like, hey, have you seen that new movie? Well, what did you think of it, right? Or who did you go with? Or do you usually go to the movies by yourself? Do you like going? Would you like to go to a movie together? It can lead into a whole thing. So listen. Yeah, listening, that's key to asking good follow-up questions. Number 4, tell stories to share information about yourself. Instead of like listing off facts, I like to walk on the beach, I like to be out at night, I like to drink coffee, instead of that, maybe share like a fun or funny story that's, something that happened in your past that will entertain people perhaps a little bit, but also tell something about yourself at the same time. Maybe a fun traveling story about the time that you ended up crossing a border from Ukraine to Poland in a very strange and unusual way in a forest. It never fails, Share something personal, but that's also sure to be entertaining. And don't make it all about yourself too. Give people space so that they can talk and respond and also maybe tell their own stories too. That's key. Number 5, be patient while you wait for acceptance from the group. You don't want to come off as desperate because that could just push people away. So it might take a little bit of time before a group will fully kind of accept you into their ranks. So just be patient with it and let things evolve at their own pace. I think that's very good advice. The last part is how to stay true to yourself. Number 1, avoid dramatically changing yourself just to fit in. When you start hanging out with new people, it's normal to change a little bit, but don't try to change everything about yourself just so that they will like you. And if you try and mimic them, then you're not really offering anything unique to the group, and you can end up feeling kind of losing yourself in a way, like, who am I, right? You don't want that. Number 2, share your unique skills and qualities with the group. In any friend group, if there are different individuals who can contribute different things, that's a win for everybody, right? So some people are good at telling jokes. Some people are the fashion people. They can offer fashion advice. Clearly not my forte. Some people are good at planning. Some people are good at coming up with like amazing ideas, being creative. So share the skills that you have, right? Probably more than likely you have something that the other group members may not have. Number 3, last one, remain open to new experiences and new friendships. Once you're included in a tight-knit group, it can be tempting to hang out exclusively with your new friends. But, don't overlook opportunities to form new friendships as well. Remember how it felt to be on the outside and look for new ways to include other people as well into your life. Sound good? Yeah, that's a lot of advice, of course, and I hope some helpful advice for how to join a friend group, because it's not the easiest thing in the world sometimes, especially when you find yourself in a new place with people you don't know. But I highly recommend you put some effort and give it a try. That's going to do it for our daily list today. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Better Place by NSYNC, and then we'll be back with our Friday Spotlight. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard Better Place by NSYNC, and I guess that was a newer effort from NSYNC. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like the old NSYNC. But now it is time for our Friday Spotlight, and we do this every Friday. We introduce local musicians or performers or artists here in Busan, or sometimes musicians coming to perform here in Busan. This week, we have Sohn Balgwang, who are from in Busan indeed, and they have been a band here for quite a while, and I got the chance to interview them recently. So let's take a quick listen to our first interview clip here. Today I'm here with Sohn Balgwang. Actually, I want you guys to introduce your band. And can you introduce your name and what you play?
Hello, I'm Dongsu, vocal and guitar.
Hello, I'm Jaeyeon and I'm new drummer of Sohn Balgwang.
Hello, my name is Songyu and I play guitar in Sohn Balgwang.
김성빈입니다. 소음 발광에서 베이스 치고 있습니다.
Dongsu, do you want to introduce Sohn Balgwang? When did you start the band and maybe why did you start the band?
I'm start 2016 and I start band because I love punk rock and I love indie rock and I wanna be rock star. It's good. This is my reason of start band.
When did you start playing music?
I will start playing music at 2021 and 22 because my brother played guitar at my home because his high school homework. So I think, wow, that's cool. So first I play bass guitar, and bass guitar is when you play alone is not really fun. So I changed to electric guitar, but my electric guitar was really bad when I played for 1 year. So, and my teacher always told me, your tempo is really bad, so you need to practice a lot. So I think when I play drum, my tempo will be better. So that's why I play drum, and now I play drum for about 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Dongsu mentioned indie rock and punk. What kind of music influenced you?
First, I listened to many metal bands like Slipknot or heavy metal, and always death metal and black metal like Cannibal Corpse or Cryptopsy and Emperor. When I go to school band, they give me a lot of influence that I made to listen to Nirvana or Green Day, like kind of punk or more indie rock style.
I started music 12 years ago. When I was 15, I saw a TV show that called Superstar K, big audition in Korea. And there's Jang Bum-jun, Busker vocal, and he shouldn't be there. Because as same as Dongsu, when I saw him, I should be a rock star. So I learned playing guitar. And now. Actually, I love the K-pop, but there's no idol. I think there's so many K-pop which is not idol, and I love indie rock too. So, yeah, nowadays I love punk music.
What's one of your favorite punk bands?
Sohn Balgwang.
Perfect answer.
Yes.
제가 그 한 9개월, 10개월 정도 전에는 이게 조선 펑크라고 불리는 어떤 장르와 그 태도에 되게 매료가 돼 있었고요. 또 부산에서 밴드 음악들을 많이 들으면서 그런 밴드를 하는 것 이런 거에 좀 되게 동경이 있었는데 그때 소hn balgwang 노래를 듣고 정말 같이 해보고 싶다는 생각을 많이 했거든요. 근데 또 때맞춰 이제 동수 형이 같이 하는 걸 허락해 주셔가지고 지금까지 같이 하고 있습니다. 매료된 거는 정말 조선 펑크가 말하는 그 장르적 특이점 이런 거 벗어나서 그냥 우리가 이런 걸 하고 있고 앞으로도 이런 걸 할 것이며 그리고 이런 걸 하는 것이 더 한치의 부끄러움이 없다는 그 드럭의 이상문 사장님의 그런 정신이 좀 마음에 들었고 그게 절 음악이나 아니면 베이스로 연주하는 그런 거에 좀 인도를 한 것 같습니다. 앞으로도 계속 밴드하고 또 다양한 음악을 좀 만들어 가고 싶어요.
All right, welcome back. And you just heard the first clip of my interview with Sohn Balgwang there. And perhaps maybe you understand why I picked today's topic about joining a new group. They've got a brand new drummer who just joined their group of friends, and I got the lucky chance to watch their first show with their new drummer last Saturday, and he fit right in. Joining a new group can be a little bit difficult, whether it's a group of musicians or a group of friends, but I think I can tell they're going to be a good fit for quite a long time. We're going to take a quick listen to an old Sohn Balgong song first. We're going to listen to Chum. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You're listening to our Friday Spotlight about Sohn Balgong this week, and that was a little taste of their music there. As you can tell, like a lot of energy and a little noise thrown in there, and that's exactly what I witnessed at their show last week. Let's take a listen to another clip from our interview. What is your goal with this band? Like, what do you hope to do?
We will go to Fuji Rock Festival.
Yes.
We will.
Definitely.
Everybody, your main goal is you want to go to the Fuji Rock Festival?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love Japan music, Japan rock music, and Fuji Rock Festival is international festival. And 우리는 봤어요. 그 후지락에 대한 낭만을 좀 본 것 같아요. 근데 그 이야기가 우리 멤버들하고 다 같이 좀 통했던 것 같고, 그래서 우리의 꿈은 후지락에 서는 거. 작은 무대라도 좋으니까 서고 싶어요.
What do you think about Fuji Rock?
I never think about Fuji Rock Festival, but when I came to this band, everyone want to go to Fuji Rock Festival. So I also like Japan music. So I think it's very good goal of our band. I want to go to Fuji Rock Festival too.
So right now, Sohn Balgwang is recording, or finished recording, the third album. Tell me about that.
우리의 세 번째 정규 앨범은 이전의 앨범들보다 조금 더 시끄럽고 더 묵직한 그런 앨범이 나올 것 같아요. Like stoner, doom style and mixed psychedelic, noise rock, post-punk 그런 앨범이 될 것 같은데 재밌게 들어줬으면 좋겠어요. 이거는 우리밖에 할 수 없는 음악이라고 생각하는 그런 요소들을 많이 넣었기 때문에 그냥 신기하고 재밌고 어쩌면 이 방송을 듣는 분들은 익숙하게 들을 수도 있겠지만 또 새로운 부분을 접해줬으면 좋겠어요.
Was this everybody's first time recording except Dongsu? First time recording?
Yes.
How did you feel recording?
너무 떨렸고요. 거의 완전 처음 하는 레코딩이었는데 뭐 동수 형 덕분에 그리고 뭐 주변에 도와주신 분들 덕분에 잘 끝낼 수 있어서 기분이 좋았습니다. 그리고 뭐 앞으로 다음 레코딩 그리고 그 다음 레코딩은 지금보다 훨씬 더 좋은 퀄리티로 맞출 수 있으면 좋을 것 같아요. 예.
처음 하니까 조금 힘들었어요?
처음 하니까 뭐 일단 레코딩이라는 게 어떻게 돌아가는지 하나도 몰랐고 하면서도 내내 너무 떨려서 손이 땀이 너무 많이 나더라고요. 손에 땀도 많이 나고 그래도 예, 좋은 분들과 레코딩하면서 밥도 맛있는 거 먹고 그래도 재밌었습니다.
It's first time to record album and something. And Byung-gyu, he is the guitarist of band Seisumi, and he record our music. And I feel I wanna record more music because it was so fun and make me happy. Yeah. And the record studio was near the Gwanghwanli beach, and it was so good.
And you didn't get to record this time, right? Do you hope to have some experience recording soon?
Dongsu always said he want to make album about 5? 5집까지. Fifth album. So I want to record fourth and fifth album with Sohn Balgwang. So yes, I want to record fourth album very soon.
All right, so that was the last part of my interview with Sohn Balgwang. And thanks again to them for giving me their time. They let me go interview them during their practice. They were so busy, and I was bothering them with my microphone. But the things I picked up from that were, they've kind of got this goal that they all want to achieve. Two of them, actually. One is to go to the Fuji Rock Festival. And as you heard, the new drummer, Jae-hyun, was kind of like, I never thought about it until I joined this band. And now everybody wants to do it, and I want to do that too. And that's kind of that thing we were talking about before when you join a new friend group. You kind of show that you're willing to be open to their experiences and do the kind of activities that they want to do too, and that will help you feel more welcome in the group, right? And the other thing they want to accomplish is recording more albums. They just finished recording their third album, and then they want to go all the way to 4 and 5. And probably by that time, their bassist, Sungbin, will stop having sweaty hands when he records. I hope for him. I know how that goes. So we're going to listen to one more song. This is going to be Pokjuk by Sohn Balgwang, and then we'll be back with our perfect playlist. All right, welcome back. You just heard the song Pokjuk by Sohn Balgwang. And I did want to let you know that they do have a gig actually coming up tomorrow. So if you're lucky and you're in the Seoul area, you can catch them at ACS in Seoul. Tomorrow night, they'll be playing with Hyang Woo-hae and Beacon. And also, they will be participating in the Haebangchon Block Party that will be taking place in September as well. And that will be September 21st through 22nd. So there'll be one of the bands playing in the many groups of bands. That tomorrow night's show actually is a little bit early. Starts at 8 p.m. And you can look up Sohn Balgwang. They're on all the social medias. You can find their music on Bandcamp and all the streaming services as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with our perfect playlist. All right, it's time for the perfect playlist. We do this every Monday through Friday, and our theme this week has been songs that are lost singles of the 60s. We got time for one more for you for this week, and it's Rocking the Cradle by Judy Mahan. Judy Mahan was part of the folk movement of the 1960s, and she had this incredible kind of soprano voice that first reminded Na PD of Joni Mitchell. Na PD, you a big Joni Mitchell fan? I got the thumbs up on that one. Joni Mitchell is let's see if you can pick up on that similar kind of sound as well. If you're familiar with Joni Mitchell, see if you kind of catch that vibe as well. Judy Mahan is a British singer-songwriter. She's also a folk and pop singer whose career began in 1962. And some say she peaked with her 1970 album Moments and the song Dream Going By. We're going to take a listen to the song Rockin' the Cradle for our perfect playlist today. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. You just heard the song Rockin' the Cradle by Judy Mahan, and that was our song for today's perfect playlist. I don't know about you, but like I know that song is originally from the 1960s, but I was getting like way further back vibes from that song. I felt like it was like 1930s or something. Like the recording quality, the sound of her voice, the very like sparse instrumentation there. Yeah, that reminded me like early mountain folk music being recorded in the U.S. or something. So that was really interesting. And actually, you know, maybe there's a connection there. A lot of the mountain music that became, you know, part of American culture actually originated in the British Isles. So perhaps there's some connection there. Interesting. So that's going to do it for today's perfect playlist. And I want to mention quickly a message I got about the weather in Goyang. So I got a message from 2618님 who says, "Hello, I live in Goyang, Gyeonggi-do. After heavy rain, finally it's sunny." Thanks for the shout out all the way from Goyang. I used to live near there. Oh, cool. So I appreciate it. And I'm glad the weather's finally getting better for you. It has turned again here. We have no longer, I see no more sunshine. It looks like it's mostly cloudy outside the window again. Please, no more rain. I would like to just be able to get home without having to carry an umbrella. Just for today. That would be nice, right? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, wherever you may be at, thank you for listening. And thanks for sending your messages. And yeah, I hope the weather cooperates for you wherever you might be at. I got a message from Lee Kelly Nim about whether you prefer doing things with one friend or a group of friends. Lee Kelly Nim says, as it makes very much sense to me, it depends on the activity. That makes a lot of sense. I understand, Lee Kelly Nim. You can't play soccer with one friend. Very good point. So it totally depends on what you're doing. But he does say, I'm usually of the quality over quantity for people. So yeah, I think me too. I would rather spend quality time than rather counting how many people I'm with and trying to keep up with conversations. I got a message about this also from Jack Kim, who says, if I have to do something with people, it is better to do it with a group of people so we can learn about each other or learn from each other, such as hands-on experiences and know-how. That's true too. So it totally depends on what your goals are. If you want to learn something, perhaps having more people at your disposal is a nice thing as well. So cool. Thanks so much for your messages today. I appreciate you spending your time with me on this Friday afternoon. I'm your host, Casey McKeever. Of course, we will have our Reboot highlight show tomorrow at 2 p.m., and I've got one last song for you today, I think rather appropriate. This is from a Canadian band who suddenly needed to get a new drummer, and their drummer had to join and fit in this group. His name was Neil Peart, and I think he made a good match. Most anybody who knows anything about drums would agree, and this will be our last song for today. This is Tom Sawyer by Rush. Have a great Friday afternoon, and stay tuned for Your Busan.